Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine, and today we are live with an interview with Reeza Hendricks. It's going to be a nice chat, a catch up with him to discuss the road to the World Cup and obviously his road to the World Cup, etc., and how he's feeling ahead of that. Well, first and foremost, we're going to have a West Indies tour that coming up firstly, and then we're going to go into the World Cup preparations, warm up games, etc. So we're going to get in a nice conversation with him and get an understanding of where he's at and how the journey has been up until this point. But before we get going, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. First and foremost, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future videos. That's when you'll get notified for any live shows that we do or any interviews, etc. It will come straight to your phone and in your notifications. And also download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well as in the descriptions. That's where you really get the untold stories of South African cricket. Whether you're a cricketer, whether you are a fan, whether you're a coach, whether you are just an enthusiast of cricket, this magazine is for you because it really gives you insights from coaches, from players, from fans that you won't get anywhere else. So go ahead and get your free copies straight away. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's interview. I'm looking forward to this discussion. Really am. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. And this is your exclusive interview with Reeza Hendricks. I'm your host, Khalid Mohidin. And this is the show where we're going to be talking about the road to the T20 World Cup, particularly Reeza's road, but we're also going to get some insights probably from the Proteas players as well, the guys on the camp currently. And also, we're going to be discussing what's going to be taking place as they prepare for that West Indian tour that's going to be so important for preparations, as I've done in a previous show. So first and foremost, welcome to the show, Reeza. How are you doing? How are you feeling currently? What is it like in the at that camp that is currently going on between with you guys?
Yeah, thanks. It's good to be on the show. Yeah, all good my side. Yeah, we as you mentioned, we straight into the camp, so things are going well. Preparations are going well at this point. So yeah, all good at this point. Can't complain, and I'm just looking forward to the rest and what's to come.
Now we can obviously talk about that camp with. There was a game that happened recently behind closed doors between you guys and the emerging side. Can you give me maybe some your thoughts on some of the talent that you guys got to see in this camp now? Obviously, getting an opportunity to play against that emerging side just to get yourself going. We know that in this particular provisional side that you guys have, there's also some young talent there too. So, just your thoughts on the young talent coming through the system. You being one of the senior players in the side, of course.
Yeah, look, there's obviously a good couple of new faces in the Proteas squad alone. Yeah, those are the guys that obviously stood out this past season or couple of seasons. So yeah, they obviously got awarded the opportunity and to be part of the squad, and I'm sure they're definitely looking forward to the West Indian tour, where they'd obviously potentially some of them would make the debut, and yeah, and just basically to see what they're about and where they're at on international level. And yeah, in saying that, we, as you mentioned, we played against the emerging team yesterday. And again, there's a lot of talent on show. I mean, those are the guys that stood out in the CSA T20 Challenge as well as the SA20. And those are the guys, again, that got rewarded to in the emerging team to play against us. So, yeah, I think that's good practice for us. And I mean, it's good for the emerging team players as well to show what the coaches or to show the coaches what they're about as well, you know. So yeah, I thought it was good practice, good run out. And yeah, it's all in preparation to the West Indian tour and then leading on to the World Cup as well.
Mhm. Now let's just go a little bit more in depth into your journey. It's been quite an exciting one for a lot of your fans on this channel. There's been quite a few guys on in your corner right through the difficult periods and the ones that the easier periods as well, where you were really in amazing form. But I want to talk to you about the journey to this particular World Cup. Obviously, last World Cups, in previous World Cups, there was a lot of conversations about whether you will be the opening partner with Quinton de Kock or whoever is going to be in that opening position. And there's been sometimes we were disappointed as fans that you weren't maybe selected in those particular squads or as the first person on the team sheet, but you fought your way back into the talking points, I would say, and in the main as the main opener in the side. You're going into this World Cup as one of as the most informed opener out of all the guys in the squad currently. So let's just talk about your journey so far into the Proteas and becoming that player that you are today. Some of the hurdles and some of the difficulties you faced, and some of the conversations you've had with the coaches and people outside your camp maybe to keep you motivated as that player.
Yeah, as mentioned, it's been an interesting and challenging journey to date. Yeah, with previous experiences. But yeah, as you mentioned, it's a journey, and I think the highs and the lows you take, and that's all part of the journey, right? So yeah, I'm grateful for how it's been going and how it has happened. I mean, obviously, at the time, it's tough and challenging. When you part of a squad, maybe for instance, and you sitting on the side and you feel you could potentially play and you're not getting a chance and so forth. And yeah, those are all the challenges that come with it. But yeah, this time round seems slightly different, or for now at least, I'm not too sure exactly what the plans are as to how I'll fit in. We haven't had those clear chats as yet. But yeah, I'd love to think that going into this one, feels already slightly different, could be different. As you mentioned, I managed to get some runs in previous international games. So yeah, I'd love to think I'm one of the front runners for that opening spot, and hopefully this time round I'll get a really really good opportunity to hopefully yeah win games for the country.
This must be the most difficult format when it comes to keeping form. We know that you went on an incredible run of form internationally, and then the SA20 didn't maybe go the way that you would have planned. And then going into the CSA T20 challenge as well, and then going into Pakistan Super Leagues, etc. All of those type of things happen when you have to keep your form in this particular format. I want to talk about it particularly, like the importance of keeping form and maintaining form in a, I would say, in a format that is quite erratic in a way. You don't know, like, anything can happen in a game of T20 cricket. It can be quite unpredictable. But how have you managed to maintain form? And when you do dip in form, like for example, with the SA20, how do you talk to yourself and mentally and get yourself back into that good patches of form again?
I think the important thing from that is it's cricket and it happens. Yes, it's never nice to be in that patch where you're not doing well and not scoring, but it's important to stay focused and stick to what has worked in the past, almost so to say, and just go with it and know that it could change or it will change. So I think that's the belief factor, and I think that's the sort of the experience and the past experience that I've had, that it's never smooth sailing always, and it's you'll have your dips, and you'll have your good times as well. So almost so to say stay level grounded, not not get too ahead of yourself when you're doing well, and not get too down on yourself when things aren't going particularly as well as you wanted to. So yeah, that's generally my thought process, and the way I see it. But yeah, it's important then just to work hard and to stick to the processes that I particularly know on what has worked for me in the past, and generally that's just how I go about it. Yeah, and I mean, as I mentioned, it's cricket. It happens. You go through those dips. You have your moments where you get on a run, and think it's important, when you get on that run that you go with it for as long as possible. And yeah, so a couple of tournaments, as you mentioned, now that I managed to do that. I managed to find some form again in the PSL and the CSA T20 Challenge. And yeah, particularly can go as well in the SA20. But again, that's cricket. That's how it goes. So hopefully I can continue with a good form as long as possible now.
Awesome. I want to talk to you a little bit about Rob. Can you give me some insight into Rob, but as well as JP Duminy as a batting coach? I mean, you would have dealt with him a little bit when he was at the Lions, but also I would like to know a little bit more about his coaching style. He spoke today in an interview about doing certain processes and having certain processes, performance processes, or I think he mentioned it, and having that performance connection. I don't know exactly if you can maybe expand on what he means by that exactly. But uh, I want to know about the coaching stuff since Rob came in. What have you learned from him and his philosophy maybe and his style of coaching that you've taken on that's maybe been different from previous regimes?
Yeah, I think Rob, he's obviously coming with new ideas, and with the game evolving the way it has, we've seen some crazy scores now in the IPL of late. So the games are continuously evolving, and I think Rob is definitely one that's driving that as well. To see where he can get that extra 5%, 10% out of the players, be it skill set, be it just your mindset. So I think he obviously demands a high standard, a high work ethic. So he drives that, and I think with that automatically comes with your skill and your mindset that just pushes you and drives you a bit more. And then you have JP, which is a really calm guy. Well, not to say Rob isn't, but yeah, JP comes in really calm head, and they're obviously working together and working in one direction to achieve an end goal, which is this new style of play, maybe, or the way that the game's evolving to try and get that 5-10% out of players, and just developing our skills. And I think just the clarity around the group on the messages that they get across to the group, to the batting unit. Obviously, I speak on a more on a batting front, which is a lot of clarity in that regard as to where we want to go and what we potentially achieve. So there's a lot of clarity around that, and as I mentioned, high demand of work ethic to try and achieve those goals. And I think yeah, that's good. Obviously, at an international standard and level, that's where we want to go, and hopefully we can reach that goal at the end. Yeah.
Okay, I've just got a couple of questions from the fans over here. One is from Sam. He says, Reeza, how is your relationship with Captain Aiden Markram? And please, both of you play more left arm spinner in the nets to improve your weakness against big hitting practice.
Yeah, yeah, our relationship's quite good. I mean, we've played a lot of cricket now together. I think that's the good thing about our group as well. We've played a lot of games now together. So it's been a constant uh, team. I would say a consistent team selection as well. So that's a good thing. And yeah, I mean, we're obviously improving all the time, or looking for ways to improve on areas. You mentioned left arm spin, so yeah, that's we work on all types of areas. So hopefully there's some improvement, and hopefully yeah, the fans can see that as well.
They always come with the hard questions, Riza. Okay, look here. Lawrence wants to know what's been the difference in your game compared to, say, 3-4 years ago? Was it a mind shift? I think it means mindset shift. Or do you put it down to the blocking, to the backing you got, especially since 2022 in the Proteas setup?
Yeah, I think the backing obviously goes a long way. As a player, you definitely want that. You definitely want guys in your corner, coaches in your corner that's backing you and believes in you. But I think, yeah, definitely a mindset shift. In T20 cricket alone, I mean, as I mentioned, the game's evolving. So as a player, you want to evolve as well. You don't want to be left behind. So yeah, definitely a mindset shift, and just yeah, the way the game's going, you have to try and keep up, and if not, go one better. So yeah, I mean, trying to be positive, trying to take the game on, and I think that's what's Rob and JP's driving as well.
Okay. This if two more questions, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Lauren says, so you were given the captaincy for the practice match yesterday with Aiden at the IPL. Is it possibility where you will most likely step in and as standing skipper for the West Indian series if Aiden isn't available for that?
To be honest, I'm not sure as yet. Yes, I did stand in yesterday and captain that game. I think, yeah, we obviously with Aiden away and one or two other guys that has captain South Africa probably wouldn't be there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Rob is maybe just looking at a few options at this point, but nothing has been said to say that I will be captaining that series. But yeah, it was probably just an opportunity to see if I could possibly do it or if that's what he wants. But yeah, to be honest, nothing has been clearly said to say that I am and will be captaining that series.
Um, Cheese says, my question is simple, Riza. What's your favorite shot to play?
Yeah, that's a tough one, but I'll probably say a back foot punch. It's kind of, yeah, probably stands out as one of my favorite shots.
And just finally for me, you guys, as a unit, a Proteas unit, obviously the aim will be to bring back the trophy and win it. Can you give me some insight into the discussions around the conditions in the USA? I mean, we've heard that not a lot of people know what's going to happen in certain venues. There's going to be drop pitches, etc., drop-in pitches, etc. I don't know what your guys' discussion is around the conditions and preparation for that. Can you just talk to me a little bit about the team, the environment, your guys' mindset going into this, and how you guys are going to prepare and what expected conditions you are going to expect in the West Indies as well as in the USA?
Yeah, so I'll maybe touch on conditions first. I think from what I've heard, it's probably going to be more on the slower side. Yeah, we obviously don't know what to expect from USA as yet. There has been the major league that has been played there last year, but the guys that has played there is currently at the IPL. So I don't. We haven't really had as much information as yet. But generally speaking, I think it's more on the slower side. Could offer a better turn, as far as I know at this point. And yeah, I think the team heading into the series and the World Cup, it's also slightly different this time round. As you all know, the IPL guys are away, which makes up a large number of our squad that's in the World Cup. And there's a lot of new faces in the current squad for the West Indies tour. So yeah, but I think with that though, it's still our culture is still driven by the coaches and the leadership group and some senior players, which is a good one. I mean, we're obviously going to the West Indies to compete and potentially win the series. So it's not just one that we're just gonna go there and go through the motion type of thing, you know. So I think, yeah, once we done with that, and once the full World Cup squad joins and connects, we'll probably have more chats in depth as to what to expect, conditions wise, and game plans and the rest. Yeah. So at this point, it's wouldn't say disjointed, but we obviously don't have the full squad with us as yet to plan really accordingly at this point.
And Lawrence wants to know how chuffed you are for Ryan.
Yeah, it's obviously very happy for him. He's had an incredible year. He's also had his challenges in the past where he's got left out a few teams, few squads. So yeah, quite happy with him being selected for this one. He's obviously put good performances on the board of late or this past year, SA20, CSA, T20 Challenge. So yeah, very happy for him to get the call up.
Riza, thanks a lot for coming on the show and have giving me an opportunity to have a chat with you. I know you guys are quite busy. Good luck for the West Indian series as well as the World Cup if I don't get to speak to you before then. I hope you guys can do us all proud over there and bring that trophy home like we all would want you to.
Yeah, thank you. Good to be on the show. Yeah, we'll obviously go out there and try our best. Yeah,
Yeah. Thanks
cool.
a lot, guys. So, everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you guys again with another daily show very soon. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody. Peace out.